Well, I usually do a what's in the box video, but this last week I had I think 3 or 4 boxes show up. I wasn't gonna make a video every single time. So let's just talk about what I got. I'll show you everything that I've got in the last week. It's probably, let's see, one, two. What's up, YouTube? So we got 5 new animals. So let's run straight through everything I've got, and then I'll show you everything I got in the photo box. We got new Hognos, we got 3 new ball pythons, we got 2 new bearded dragons, and we got a chameleon. The chameleon is going to be in a whole different video, but we'll talk about a chameleon when we get to it. We also have another dragon coming, but it was I did a collab. This is the dragon that I chose to get out of that collab. So yeah, she's pretty cool. Her name is Artemis. I already named her before she got here. It's not like she's far. She's like down the street, but I just haven't gone and got her yet. But yes, I also want to take in this video and talk about the holdbacks that I have so far for 2024 because I think they're pretty freaking sick as far as bearded dragons. I have no snake holdbacks yet because they haven't started hatching. My first clutch of ball pythons starts hatching the 17th is when I do the egg cutting. Yeah, I'm gonna do an egg cutting. I mean, they might hatch before I do the egg cutting, but the 17th is when I'll do the egg cutting if they haven't hatched yet. Or obviously, I have to make sure that the egg is ready to be cut. I can't just go cut on the 17th just because. You gotta make sure it's cut. There's something bugging me over here. But yeah, so let's go start off with the bearded dragons that I've gotten, and let's do it. So here we got the 2 bearded dragons that I received this week. We have a hypo leather, this one here, and then we have a hypo normal scale, this one here. And I didn't know I was gonna get them. So essentially what happened is clutch number 5 hatched out, and clutch number 5 was a yellow clutch, so it's the same as clutch number 1. But I actually got a dragon that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep him. And because I decided I was gonna keep a male, I had to buy females. And then I bought females. That's exactly what happened. So both of these are hypo. They're one of the parents was het translucent, the other parent was not translucent or het translucent. So none of the babies out of those clutches came out with visual translucent, but there's still a chance these girls are het translucent. And I don't know if you guys remember in a previous video, I talked about how I would prefer my yellows without translucent now because it's easier to get brighter yellows if there's no translucent in them. And I'll show you the holdbacks for 2024 so far. One of them is translucent, and I'll show you what I mean by that. They almost look yellow, and when they age, they still have that yellow, or they almost look green, and when they age, they still have that green undertone to them. So they don't actually get brighter. They kind of just they do get brighter. They just kind of dull out because of the green undertone. But they also, when they're flamed up or when they're fired up, they do look really good as well. But so we have a hypo leather, and I guess you could call this one a tiger here. And we have another hypo here, no leather, just normal scale. And I guess you can call that one a tiger too. Depends on who you are, depends on who you ask. But pretty nice dragons there. Now I kind of want to show you the holdbacks for 2024 before we get into the snakes. So this is a dual purpose video to show you some dragons that I got, show you some snakes that I got, show you some holdbacks that I got for 2024 so far. And obviously when they get older, I usually try to do a holdbacks for 2024 video. So this is not really that video, but towards the end of the year, I'll show off all the holdbacks that I got for 2024. But super nice dragons here. I expect good things from them. Nice yellow dragons. There you go. Let's go look at the holdbacks for 2024 so far. So we'll start off here with clutch number 1. So clutch number 1 was a hypo leatherback dunner genetic stripe yellow bred to a hypo het trans yellow. And essentially what we got was yellows, but the female was a tiger. That's where all these blues come from right here. You can see these dragons are they're really used to me handling them. And that's because I want my holdbacks to be as nice as possible, so therefore I handle them all the time. And then this one here has a nice little genetic stripe, but this one has some genetic stripes too. Now, if you watched the last video of me talking about the different grade levels, I would call this a B grade genetic stripe because there are some like indents and it's not perfectly straight. And I would call this a C grade genetic stripe. So there you go. Just a little tad bit on what grade levels these are. Now, I would still call them genetic stripes for my purposes because I know they came from a genetic stripe pairing, and I'm pretty sure, depending on the pairing that I put them to, they'll produce genetic stripes too. So these are the first two holdbacks. Both of these are females. Hypo genetic stripe het trans and hypo trans leatherback dunner genetic stripe. Definitely a tiger. I wouldn't call this a tiger. This is just some little bit of blues coming in. But yes, pretty awesome. Both of them are females. They're growing really good already. They're probably like up to like 12 or 13 grams already. And they're like, I want to say they're not even 6 weeks old. Maybe they are 6 weeks old. I don't know exactly how old they are, the exact age. So the problem is dragons hatch out, and then usually you have like 3 or 4 days before the rest of the clutch hatches out, sometimes even a week. So you don't really know exactly how old the dragon is. You just know exactly based off when they started hatching to when they stopped hatching. So these could be around 6 weeks old. I know that come the end of May, they'll be like, not the end of May, like mid-May, they'll be 8 weeks old. So by the time this video goes up, they'll probably be closer to 8 weeks old. But super nice. Let's go look at clutch number 2. Now, clutch number 2 was actually supposed to be a het 0 clutch. So it's het 0 to het 0. I ended up with 0 zeros. But I did end up with some nice color stripes here. Now, I'm not exactly sure if the one on top there is going to be a color stripe or a genetic stripe because those stripes are pretty definite. Now, the bottom one there definitely going to be a color stripe. She looks amazing. The problem with this is where are the zeros at? So I don't know if these are 66% het 0 or 50% het 0 or not het 0 at all, because of the fact that was I lied to? I still don't know. I still haven't figured it out yet. But there's a person that doesn't breed bearded dragons anymore. They stopped breeding bearded dragons anymore. And then the other person just doesn't exist anymore. So did they lie? Were they the ones that lied, or the person that doesn't breed bearded dragons anymore? Did they lie? Now, I do have the male breeding to other females that are het 0, so we'll see. But as of right now, I'm not too sure who lied. But these are still pretty nice babies. Obviously, they're kept because they're pretty cool. Now, they are both dunners, so I do have to find some males that are not dunners to breed them to. And I don't have a lot of those. So I'll have to probably hold back something later on that is not a dunner that'll work for some of these dunner females that I'm holding back. But as of right now, I have nothing. So pretty cool though, pretty nice. I still have time to find them a male, but that is clutch number 2, holdbacks. And that one on the right there, those colors, I mean, those colors just pop. Like, it's ridiculous how poppable those colors are. Look at that. Super nice colors on that female. Now, this one's not too shabby either. She's just a little dark, but she looks pretty good as well. So, there you go. Let's go look at clutch number 3, holdbacks. Now, this little fella here, I'm still undecided about because there's another one that looks just like him and has straighter stripes, but it's not as big. So, it really is just going to depend on who thrives the best to be considered a breeder. But these little red dragons, their colors are coming in strong. Like, and I mean, they came out like washed out. They came out a bit ugly, I guess you could say, but their colors are coming in so strong. Like, that is ridiculous how much brighter these are compared to when they hatched out. And a lot of people look at the parents and they're like the mom, she was washed out, but I'll post a picture of the mom right now, but she was really red as a baby too. She just washed out as an adult, and the dad looks incredible. So I know for a fact these are going to be awesome babies. And I didn't know I was going to hold back any males from this clutch, but I ended up holding back a male from this clutch. And I think if I do decide to hold back, all right, so I say I hold them back, but holding back doesn't mean you're going to keep them forever. Holding back just means you want to see how they progress. And this little guy here if I do decide to hold him back for, if he becomes a breeder for me, I will pair him to those 2 females from clutch number 3 and see what I get, because I do want to see if that one female is a genetic stripe or a color stripe. Obviously, the other one's a color stripe. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I also want to see how that interacts. Was she a color stripe, also genetic stripe, or is she just a color stripe? So I want to do a lot more research, a lot more testing with color stripe and genetic stripe to see how it works and how they interact. And is it technically the same, or are they just 2 different, completely different things, 2 different forms of line breeding that took place that produced something similar but different, if that makes sense. So that'll be a lot of my testing coming in the years ahead. So because I don't want to just breed to breed, I want to breed to perfect bearded dragons. And obviously, you can't ever perfect anything, but at least perfect the information that's put out there, you know? So I do like this guy. He will be something that I look forward to seeing how he progresses. And if he progresses really nicely, like he already has, like, I mean, that red is insane, then he will be staying here. And I don't have really anything for clutch number 4, but I do have some dragons that I'm looking at, because clutch number 4 is the one that produced the paradox last year. So I'll be looking at some of these and I'll show you them, because no sense in me, keeping it a secret, but I'll show you what they look like, and I'll show you if they paradox or not. So you'll know if it's one that I was looking at, if they paradox, and if they don't, none of them paradox, then it's just a fluke that they look like that, right? So that'll be pretty cool to look at. So let's look at those from clutch number 4, and then we'll talk about the snakes that I got. And no, actually, we still got a clutch number 5. I forgot about clutch number 5, and I'll show you the one from clutch number 5 that I'm holding back. Now, to get these 4 babies to sit here is practically impossible. So hopefully they sit for a little bit. But these are the 4 that I'm looking at. There was a 5th one, but he honestly passed away, and I'm not really sure what caused him to do that. But I just know that sometimes they don't all thrive. So this one in particular, I'm really looking at. This one looks so funky, but the other 3, I know the other one ran away. They're really dark still, and the other clutch mates are pretty bright and colored as of right now. And that one, for some reason, or these 4 for some reason, are still really dark. Now, they really, I mean, there's no indication right now of paradoxing. We won't know until they start shedding. And they're all practically in shed or going into shed right now. And there's that 4th one over there just ran away, and he's starting to color up, but that doesn't mean that he can't paradox still. So super nice. I'll see what happens with them, but I just wanted you guys to know that I'm looking at some that might paradox from the same pairing that produced a paradox. So that's really all I wanted to do there is talk about, these 4. But let's go look at the one baby from clutch number 5 that I decided to keep. And that was essentially because of the females that I had bought. I saw the baby come out, and I was like, you know what? This guy's staying, so I need some females for him. And I didn't want to, and he was related to all the yellows that I had. So I had to buy some yellows. But let's go look at that guy and see why I bought some females for him. Now, here he is. This little fella here staying. I already even named him. His name is Daffy, like Daffy Duck. So the reason I named him Daffy is his mom's name is Zinnia, which is named after a flower. And I was essentially like, well, I'm going to start naming the yellows after flowers. And so he's named Daffy, like daffodil, but really like Daffy Duck. I didn't really want to name him after daffodils, because he's a boy, But then I also have, because that hypo normal scale, her name is Lily, and the hypo leatherback, her name is Marigold. So they're all going to be named after flowers here. And when they produce some yellow babies later on, if I keep any, I'll keep the train of flowers. But super nice. He's already darkening up since he's been sitting here, but I love the way he looks. I love his colors. And he is a hypo dunner genetic stripe, and super nice. Love the way he looks. And now we can go look at the snakes, and hopefully one of these snakes doesn't bite me, because one of these snakes is mean. But that information was disclosed to me before I got the snake. So let's go look at the snakes now. Now we're starting off the snakes with this pinstripe female. Just a normal pinstripe, super nice looking. But she's also double het, DG, and BPI Xanthic. So this girl, when the male is ready, he started breeding with the freeway, and then he kind of stopped. So I kind of tried pairing him with her too. But when the male is up and ready for her, I'll pair him. But she's going to be going to a tri-stripe to produce some triple hets. But obviously they'll be shed tested, and we may not even get a triple het. But that'll be pretty nice if we do. Super nice here. She could even be inchy. I don't know. This pinstriping is really thin and sporadic. She might be an inchy. Where are you going? Yeah, she might be an inchy pinstripe, but there's only one way to find out, and that's breeding. So there you go. Then we got this crazy looking thing. So we finally got a GHI in our collection. I told you guys I was going to do it, and I did it. So this is the Ghi Mojave Yellow Belly. And she was already paired to an asphalt male before I got her. And we'll see. I'm going to ultrasound her and see what she got going on. And maybe, just maybe, I can pair her to my male and at least get one lock in. That way we can determine what we're going to get. But there you go. Yeah, she's bow wrapping and everything. So she might be too far gone. But that's one of them. Let's look at the third one that we got. And then we'll look at the hognose that hopefully doesn't bite my face off. This girl here has already started locking with my Het DG. This girl here has already started locking with my Het DG male. He's Het DG and Het Clown. So hopefully we get some dangerous. So hopefully we get some desert ghosts that I can test for a clown, and we end up with some desert ghost Het Clowns. But super nice. She is a Firefly Head DG. She already looks swollen. I'm going to ultrasound her too, because it could have just taken that one lock and she's done. But according to the person I got her from, she hasn't locked with anything this year. But she could have retained some sperm as well. Get back in there. Retained some sperm. Could have been a problem. So now I did my lock. Hopefully she ends up with babies from my male and not somebody else's male. Get back in there. So super nice. Firefly Het DG female. And now let's go see if the hognose is going to tear my face or not. So there we go. So this is the hognose here. She's been hissing at me. Watch it. No hiss now? No hiss just like that? All right. She just ate, so she shouldn't be that mad about life. I was going to grab her because I have to wear gloves to grab her because she likes to bite. But there she is. She is a toffee belly, het albino. And if you guys don't remember, my male is a xanthic superconda het albino. So potentially want to breed them together, get some albinos that are het toffee and het xanthic. And again, they're all going to be conda because it's a super conda, but super nice. See if I can get a better. There she is. If you made it this far into the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything that I put out in the future. As always, peace.